Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we're going to be diving into the world of Harmony1, specifically talking about the price action of the one coin. Guys, I'm going to try to keep this one nice and brief. I'm still incredibly unwell, so I'm hoping to get through this the best way I can and convey over to you guys the best information I can with what is going on with Harmony1 right now. And as we get into this, if you find it useful and informative, hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with that said, done out of the way, let's dive down into Harmony1 here and see exactly what is going on with the one coin. We're going to start things off with the weekly, guys, just as we usually do. Basically, the bull run started back in March of 2020. First wave up here, peaking at around the August time. Second wave coming down towards the latter part of 2020, December. And then we peaked up nice and strong up here in, I think it was March of 2021. Right, so from March to March, we've seen 18,905% in gains. For those people who were buying Harmony1 at the top of wave 3, they've had to endure all of this down to the downside, okay, in terms of what is going on with that fourth wave correction. We fortunately have set a new all-time high, so as long as you didn't succumb to the fear and you didn't sell at the bottom of wave 4, then you're doing quite well. You can also see that there's an upward trend line that was acting as a bit of resistance. This started back in February of 2020. We tested this with the peak of wave 1. We broke through it in wave 3, back tested and turned it into support during wave 4. So now as we heat up into wave 5, where we have a pretty good target, I think it's 79.7 cent, about 355% from our current position. Okay, right now we are battling some critical areas where if we do break through, which I do anticipate us doing, it should set us off to a new all-time highs very soon. Ultimately, Harmony1's been heating up quite nicely, and the expectation should be that we are looking towards some pretty good targets going further forward. We can also see that the stochastic RSI is oversold down here and oversold down here. This is basically wave 4 and wave 2. Okay, so being oversold during those two waves and obviously overbought when we're up in the wave 1 and wave 3. The anticipation is a small pullback right now on our stochastic to go back into overbought for the rest of the bull run. I do anticipate that quarter 4 is going to be a really big run for Harmony1 to finish off, taking us up towards that 79.7 cent area, where we might even overextend to hit that dollar range. Okay, let's jump down into our daily view, and this is where we start to see exactly what's been going on most recently. Okay, so we do have a cup and handle pattern. This is something that's quite common on pretty much most of these altcoins now. We can see there's a cup here, and we pull down to the handle, and then we blast on up, right? And that for Harmony1 comes in at 34 cents. So basically it comes in pretty much on the nail of our 1.618 area of the Fibonacci retracement, okay? So that's the expectation, but first of all, we have to battle through the 786. So for you guys familiar, we've been talking about the 18.6 cent area for a while. This is an area that we were rejected from over here. We broke through it over here only to have Bitcoin pull us down, and then obviously we're battling up this area right now. So looking to push past and get that closed candle above 18.6, preferably a weekly close. That would be really the strongest move, but for now I'll take a daily and see how that kind of progresses to the upside as well. We can see that the stochastic RSI is overbought just about, and we can be up here for a while in line with what we were doing previously with this nice surge to the upside over here. So overall we got some pretty good targets for October, coming in at about 34 cent, and of course, you know, as we push up here, 79.7 cent is our top there, with the fifth wave potentially overextending to that dollar level. From there, I do think that's going to be a psychological barrier where we are likely to see a lot of selling occurring, so make sure that we do lock profits in on the way up. Okay, so at this point we'll jump over to the advice dashboard, load up Harmony, and just take a look at what is going on here. So here we have a B1 rating. It's actually dropped down 1 rating in the last 24 hours. Now let's get into the detail of this. The AMI-HAD ratio comes in at an A2 rating, so no problems with liquidity. The fear and greed index, however, comes in at a C3 rating, which means there's a lot of fear in the space for Harmony1 right now, and this isn't really warranted, and I'll get into why that is in a moment. The Sharpe ratio is an A2, which is pretty much the risk-reward ratio working for us in our favor, well above the 50-day average. This is basically suggesting that holding Harmony1 is a pretty good idea rather than a bad idea. idea. Okay, we also have the profitability, the return on investment. This is up there as an A1 rating. Obviously, with 18,000% in gains, it's hard to see this thing not being the best profitability that this particular platform can give, right? And come down a little bit lower, the peak end value demands at B2, so pretty neutral, pretty good. We have moving averages up here in A2, right? Pretty good moving averages. So the anomaly really comes in from an unnecessary amount of fear in the Harmony space, whereas everything else is actually looking pretty good. So when we jump back down into our charts and we say, okay, well, we're fighting up against the 786 and the sentiment just isn't quite there, but everything else is. Let's take a look at that hourly chart and see what's going on. Here you can see it pull back just down to the 702 as we entered the oversold area. This is actually looking pretty good. So if we do have a good surge to the upside now, and we get some good volume, let me throw that volume on, right? So we can see here, if we have this kind of volume come in here now and grow this to the upside, I do anticipate us pushing past that 786 area, okay, getting that close candle above that 18.6 cent zone. Okay, so being oversold on the hourly, but obviously we just be a little bit mindful over that sentiment, right? There's a lot of fear in the space. People might be unwilling to buy Harmony, but actually everything else in the background, the underlying data is actually indicating that it's a pretty good buy, because we are looking to push past this area here and head towards our 21 cent zone. Okay, so right now, what we're looking for is to basically increase this volume, good buying, and allow us to push past this area and target that 21 cent area. Now, I don't anticipate us doing that in one move. I do anticipate us pushing on past, maybe just getting past the 18.6, back testing on 18.6, turning that into support, and then moving our way up to 21 cent. Okay, so overall, everything's looking pretty good for Harmony, but do be mindful that the market isn't quite comfortable with it just yet, and if Bitcoin decides it is going to kind of pull back a little bit, then do anticipate us pulling back down deeper towards our 618 area on the charts. This would actually put us down towards 15.5 cent. I'm hoping that isn't the case. Bitcoin is, of course, up against some pretty key technical areas itself, and it is fighting those zones right now. So we are looking to try to push Bitcoin past 51k. If it does, then that's going to be great, because that means that Harmony here will allow us to push past 18.6 cent. If, however, Bitcoin pulls back, then do anticipate us pulling down towards our 618 area, 15.5 cent. Okay, but otherwise, everything for Harmony 1 is looking pretty good. Did want to just kind of cover that off with you guys. The expectation is that that Harmony is going to be pushing up as long as Bitcoin holds its position. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you have found this video useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.